Okay. Academics versus tech, striking a balance. Mm. Well, in academics, the first thing we do is definition. And I hope in tech, that's the first thing we also do as well. So let's define what academic is and what tech is. Oftentimes, from our perspective, from what we understand, academic is our pursuit of education. So to put it simply, we, or I will put it this way, the pursuit of a certificate to tell the world that we are educated. That is what academic is. But don't mistake schooling with learning. Being in this University of Ilorin, you are currently schooling. You are in academics, right? But are we learning? That is the problem. That's the question we need to answer. Learning is actually our ability to pick up information, process them, and deploy them in the best of manners, and to solve problems. Though learning can take place without problem being solved, but a learning that has a useful outcome is the best to take place. And I believe that is why most of us can call ourselves tech guys. Some of us can be even addressed as tech gurus, because we have dedicated our life to learning something in a specific manner that will enable us to actually use that information to solve problems. Now, most of us in tech, why do we even go there? Fine. It all starts from maybe primary school, secondary school. You're good in science, and everybody sees it like, yeah, you need to be you need to be an engineer. You can do this, you can do that. You've tried so many things. Oftentimes, you are probably a step ahead of your peers in solving problems. And today, you have the requisite skill to use those information in a particular way, in a systematic manner, to be able to solve problems. And most of the problems solved in tech today is not just the problem of information technology. It's not the problem of information communication. It's not the problem of orientation. It's not a problem of human well-being and the progress of of humanity. Today we're talking about solving climate change problems. Not just by stopping the burning of firewoods, not just by exploration of coals, but by being able to tap into various types of technology, such as artificial intelligence, to predict how our activities affect the ecosystem, the world entirely. So it's just not about designing graphics, writing codes, because that's what people see. But the solution we bring to the table is beyond that. It's about giving hope to people who are hopeless. Imagine people today walking without arms. And we know if we put our heads together, we can create artificial limbs and arms for them. Would we stop and do nothing? That is the question we all need to answer. And that is why, if we know what we're doing, every one of us, lecturers, students, pupils, primary school, wherever, technology, in fact, is the word. And the word is technology, because technology makes the world beautiful, made those changes. I remember there's a biblical verse that Jesus said, in my names, those believers will do wonders. No, not quoting directly, but if you believe in God, you will do what? He said you will do far greater miracles. Who was he talking about? He was talking about the engineers to come, the technologies to come, those who are going to change the world. What far greater miracle are we talking about? moving people from Nigeria to the United Kingdom within 6 hours. That journey could have taken like months or days. But today with technology, we are able to like reduce the distance. And now every one of us played a part, from the man who designed even the smallest of the buttons, you understand, to the pilot who's going to fly that plane. Everyone played a part. That is a miracle. You understand? Today we are communicating using a tool. I'm not seeing you physically, you're not seeing me physically, but now we are conversing. So who created the Meet app? Who created the Zoom app? You understand? Some people labor to have those apps. Today we can easily and conveniently pay money, receive payments from abroad, World Remit, name them, and so on, so forth, PayPal and all this. Some people created those apps. And now, how did they arrive at it? Today, I won't lie to you, those who created those apps, a lot of us thought, oh, it's good to say this. I know we might have been influenced by the paper mafias, where students who were in school were hired for tech companies, and they had to drop out of school because they went all in. It's either go great or go nowhere, because they sacrificed that certificate and they moved fully into following their dreams. And today we know most of them are billionaires. Or the story of Steve Jobs, or the story of the Microsoft founder, and a lot of these guys. Fine. Let's don't forget, these people are in different climb. The way technology is appreciated in their climb, it might be a little bit difficult in our own climb for us to do the same thing without education. But one thing I still try to tell people is this: that they drop out from school to pursue their dreams does not mean they dropped out from educating themselves. They only stop taking those compulsory courses that does not interest them and focus on taking the courses that really do. Today, you are designing. You look at the tons of things you're reading and learning. I won't lie to you, that thing is more than a curriculum in our school system today. However, if you're not being creative about managing your time, you might find that situation a bit uneasy for you to balance, because you have the coursework in one hand, you have this personal engagement in the other, which I totally do agree that it's good. I encourage it. Most of my students, in fact, you cannot leave my department without having a skill. You must just look for a skill to learn before you leave that department, because you should be a creator. That's why you are here. It's not just about just getting the certificate. It's about you having the tool you can use to make impact in the world. Let me tell you the benefit of tech and the benefit of academics in our climate. For tech, I don't have to speak much. You already know. We have a lot of examples right out there. Google, top-notch example for us all to see what tech can do. OpenAI is there today. ChatGPT, and a lot of people who dedicated time studying, learning, never dropped out from learning, but probably never attended the 4 walls of the classrooms like we have them here. However, they live in a different climate than we do. They live in a climate where you can even be a millionaire by washing cars, in era, so to say anyway. But here, if you choose to wash cars, you have to be extremely creative to become a millionaire through that. You understand? So what do you need to do? You need to find a balance. You need to have that ways where you can a bit know that, okay, fine, I divide my time in a specific manner that allows me the opportunity to follow through with my academics, and of course, still give me the chance to control my growth in tech. And this is the best decision you can make. Don't be deceived. I do know when you start newly, there is something like I want to quote Warren Buffett. It's a first-time gambler almost never loses. But when you keep at it, I'm telling you, you are taking nothing home. You understand? When you come into tech, probably for the first few months, first few years, you might be getting those great jobs that you don't believe it. 200,000, 500,000 might be huge money to you now. So if somebody is engaging you for 1,000 US dollars, 2,000 US dollars, you're seeing it like something massive. Like you can, like there's this joke, student joke, like if they give you 100 million, would you burn down your school? Somebody will be like, I'll even burn down the VC's house. I'll do this, for 100 million naira, But you just laugh because 100 million naira seems way too much to him for now. But by the time he realizes and he's getting to that point, he sees that 100 million naira is just something that he could actually, But today now, most of us might not be worth 2,000 US dollars. So having a job that pays that and conflicting that assignment with your school might be challenging. You understand? And you might tend to want to be swayed towards the money. But I tell you something, if you keep at it, you get the right education and you have the right certificate and you have the tech skill, the certificate would actually open the door for you. Why the tech skill will keep you there? The way you are priced, you understand, today now, fine, most of us with PhDs, we know we are a bit more expensive than, or we are, I don't know how I'm going to put it. Like people just feel you are too expensive. Imagine you want a web designer and I show up with a PhD. You'd be like, oh, sorry. you now put it, we're looking for a young designer. You understand? So, but now you're able to command that respect, because you have a certificate that can really attest to the fact that you actually schooled. And in Africa today, we cannot discount that. You understand? No matter the way you code and the rest of it like that, as long as people know that you cannot even see a project through. And the first project you're having in your hand right now as we speak is the project of finishing this school. Having a certificate is a project. So if you don't have the discipline to finish it up, I bet you, something is swaying you away from finishing school. Definitely, when you get another thing, it probably sway you away from finishing that same project. You understand? So you need a lot more reasons to want to abandon school because of tech, or abandon tech because of school. So I believe it is possible. It's something you can do. You can strike the balance. I started making money from tech right from 2006, while my school fees was 3,500. And for my web design, I was charging about 35,000, 30,000 naira then. You understand? That was way back, But we try as much as possible to just make sure we follow the lead of those before us. They guide us right. We're able to achieve our certificates, develop our companies alongside, and of course, continue to serially invest in startups. And till today, the story is different. You understand? And it doesn't stop the engagement, whichever way. Rather, it's even boosts the profile for people to know that you have that tenacity to even withstand the rigor of the project. You remember when the culture of Google, when it started, it was hiring it started hiring PhDs. Right now, most of go to the research and development unit of most tech companies. Who would you find there? Not just the techie, but the techies with education. People who have absolute knowledge about research, or who understand how research are made. Now, without wasting much time, I believe you can agree with me that if we strike a balance, it's easy for us to even fly higher than when we abandon one for one. However, I know tech will lead you into self-reliance. You will be able to develop that attitude, the habits that will make your talent marketable and drive to explore local surroundings in order for you to be self-sufficient. I do agree also that enterprises, just like Keyon and White said, serve as a vehicle for promotion of social and cultural identity. And those enterprises can only be created by we, the techies. By providing young people, particularly those from underprivileged background, with meaningful employment opportunity. You know, this is the advantages of tech. Youth enterprises help young people's and at least you have identities, and you can also inspire others and treat them, and you get treated with respect as long as you are in this ecosystem. And in broad sense, entrepreneurial venture assists young people in gaining new knowledge and experience that may be used in a variety of different life issues. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's also a driving force behind technological advancement and a prerequisite for self-renewing economy. So this is what tech actually help us do, help us become
Okay, sir.
self-reliant. We Hello?
There are 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, sir.
5 more minutes. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
So
sir.
within the last 5 more minutes that we do have, I believe what you need to strike a balance is for you to have a personal vision. If you have a personal vision, know your goal, and then you will be able to have a plan to achieve that goal. The goal is to get a degree as well as to be as good as you can be in your venture, in your endeavor. Be the difference. You don't have to give up. Consult your hopes. Consult not your fears, but your hopes and your dream. Do not think by going tech you will probably fall out. Or do not think that by trying to get a degree you would not be a great techie. Think not about your frustration, but about your unfulfilled potential. Concern yourself not with what you tried and failed in, but with what is still possible for you to do. What if you are to write your own obituary right now? What would you write? That is what I believe should drive you. You wouldn't, I'm very sure Nigerians, we prioritize. If you want to drop out now, even your mom, your dad will be like, hey, guy, please think twice, you know. But you can be, imagine today, my obituary, I read, this is the body of Professor Yahaya Suleiman, who started 50 incredible technology companies. How does that sound? But I would rather want my obituary to sound that way than have my obituary say, this is Mr. Yaya, who started 50 businesses in tech. You understand? That is my personal obituary I've read to you. You understand? Should I die, you know, that's the way I just want it to read. So I'm striving towards that. How would you want yours to read? Your personal vision statement guides your life. Your personal vision statement provides direction necessary for you. And if you can really do that, then you will learn how to manage your time. What most of us lack is time audits. We must truly hold ourselves accountable for our time. If you want to be successful, you need to think of yourself as a personal brand. So you should know who you are truly, and you have to be disciplined, committed to the goal of graduating and to the goal of becoming a better person in tech. Then take a moment. What are the 10 things you mostly enjoy doing? Be honest. If you can do this assignment, this is actually a seminar. What 3 things must you do every single day to feel fulfilled in whatever you do? Identify these things, write them down, audit yourself on them. Most of us just wake up, we don't write. This should be your friend every day. Take this, write it down. That is what I heard. Don't deceive yourself. You're using the phone address of it. Still go hardcore. Write down. I have a diary where I write down everything. And at the end of the day, I tick them to see which one I've achieved. If you can strike this balance, I have no doubt that you will succeed. At this point, I don't take all of your time. I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I thank the president for this invitation and all these incredible people. I hope very soon we shall be celebrating your graduation as well as your company. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, sir. I deeply, deeply appreciate that wonderful session. I don't know about others on the call, but I did also. I was, in fact, so many things to write down, so many things to take note of. And I love how you mentioned that, even aside getting a certificate, you also need a tool to impact the world. A lot of people usually do this certificate equals tool to impact the world, and it's possible, but having other things that can creatively help you to impact the world is also very important. And I was able to really get that from that amazing session. I'm really grateful for that session. If there's any question or maybe you have a comment, please feel free to put them in the chat box and I will do well to read them in time. But with that being said, there's going to be a mentee game after this session. There's going to be a mentee game organized by the GDSC Unilorin, just to have a nice time and a fun space with everybody. So please just wait a few minutes as we organize that. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, or you want to comment on something, you can write out one thing that you gained from the last session by Dr. Suleiman. You can write that out in the chat box. If you have anything that you gained, please let's write it out. Thank you so much, sir. I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Okay. While we are waiting, I will check with my team and see what is. Okay, they are on it. So um while we're waiting, I'm going to be reading out some of the little bits I'm seeing in the chat box. Okay, and let me be sure if this is a question. It says you talked about research units in organizations. How is research done properly? Okay, give us the tip of the iceberg. All right, sir. This is a question. The person is asking about research units in organizations and how research is done properly.
Thank you so much. I think most of us, what we do not understand about research is this: the the space with the most opportunity in the world is research, and that is actually what leads to the various innovation we see. We have new iPhones every year. We have new improvements in technologies every year. That doesn't just come by accident or wishful thinking. It comes by dedication of some people to that target or goal. So, research, about more than 60% of all PhDs are hired by companies, companies like Samsung, Google, Facebook, you know, and but others who teach in the educational sector like we do, do teach in the educational sector like we do. But what we need to know is for research, you have a goal to accomplish something, no matter how small the improvement might be. And also, it could be a goal to tell the world how not to do a particular thing. So in research, there's usually nothing wrong with getting an answer different from your intention when you started. For instance, if I intend to make, let me put this way, amala using cassava. Now, if I process that cassava in a certain way and I did not achieve amala, what I do is to record down my experience. So other people will come to avoid that way and have contributed to knowledge. That is what research is about. So it's a systematic, uh, uh, let me say, is a systematic way of searching and searching and searching. And that's why it is called research, to achieve an objective. And like you say, the tip of the iceberg of making a research, how to make a research is this. One, record keeping. Remember how you did it so others can come and try it if they wish to verify what you've done. Remember, they say science is the uh, science is the organized body of knowledge that can be tested and verified at any time. So for research, what you do in research is this: you have a systematic manner by which you are doing certain things, and as soon as you do it that certain way, you get results. You repeat it, you get that result. If the results get to a point where it's it's consistent, then it can be published or used. Say for instance, you're trying to manufacture a screen, not using when phone screen started, we weren't using glass. It started with plastic, but today almost all screens are made from glass. It takes research. It takes some people to try. When they try a particular way, it fails, then they will try again. A company like Dyson, before they brought out their vacuum cleaner, they tried more than 1,000 times before they achieved that actual result that can be sold out. You understand? However, don't be discouraged. Release, that is why, because of research and development, we always have version. Remember the first version of Microsoft's what's it called? The operating system. Of course, I know your kind cannot even bear it. You know, when you load it and it's taking like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to boot, when Excel is taking like 20 minutes to process simple addition, I know you cannot stand it. But today now we take it for granted that these things are so fast. It's because some people just spend time and time over on that specific thing. So you just find a niche where you can make contribution. You continue to check out things and then you get good at it. For instance, in our faculty, we started making a blind walking stick. And when we tried several iterations, we believe, okay, this stick, instead of that, we can make it even a blind walking shoe, where the shoe senses obstacles, detect pits, which most sticks don't do out there, you know. And now we add the pit detection to it. The first person who presented that project won about 150,000 naira in Apex, and we're looking forward to others doing the same thing. So that is what research is about. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the answer to that question, sir. Very grateful. And one thing I took out of it was daily record keeping and perseverance. So even when maybe you're not getting the right answers or you keep trying, you're not just getting there, keep trying, basically, just keep trying. And you might arrive at various versions of your results. Thank you very much, sir. I'm very grateful for that. I want to ask if the person's question has been answered. To who? Let me be sure. Okay, person's name here is normal. I don't know. Well, has your question been answered? Okay. Probably maybe network or something. I don't know. I can't seem to see any. Okay, yes. Yes, his question has been answered. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Quickly, I want to, sir, will you be staying on the call with us till the end?
No, today is the Nigerian Society of Engineers meeting. I will
Okay.
be leaving just immediately after my presentation. Sorry. I might still
Wow.
be on earpiece listening to you guys, but you know, I chair
O-
one of the divisions, so I have to be in the meeting.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem, sir. No problem. Okay, we're about to take the game now. I was thinking that maybe the question and answer session will come after that. But since that won't be too possible, I don't know if you can entertain one more question, sir, before. All right. Thank you, sir. So I'm going to be reading out the next question that somebody asked. All right. This question is by Jimo Salama. In a situation where there is a clash of priority between tech and academics, which one would you suggest we prioritize?
Thank you so much for that question. Okay, I've actually been in that dilemma before. Yeah, maybe the background I edited, I gave a background of my life in academics. Go back a little bit. I started with a company owned by Access Bank called Wapik Insurance. I was their fund manager. In fact, I was managing about 3 billion naira for them. I moved to FBN Insurance, owned by First Bank Holding. I managed about 7 billion naira for them. And as at the time I was taking my job in academics, I had to take about 200,000 naira cuts. That was in 2014. You know, that was a lot of money to Nigerians, average Nigerians, even today. You understand? But one thing is, I had to know where my priority lies. You understand? And what changed my life? I had attended a session where somebody that asked me to write down that same obituary of myself. And I read it out and I felt, in fact, as I then, I had an email that reads Professor Say. So that tells me this is where I want to be. I
Mm,
love research. And research, you know, and I love public speaking. You
mm,
understand? So the
mm,
two things that, you know, even in that company, even as a fund manager, when people refuse to turn up for their training, all they do is send me the slide. Within 30 minutes, I'm prepared to face them. So now
mm,
I'm already like identifying where my strength
mm,
lies in public speaking. And as such, I felt, okay, fine, this would be a better time for me to pursue this goal, because if I keep on my job, I looked at what is in there for me, I looked at what I'm going to miss. But if I go this direction, I look at what is in there for me. It will free me time for
mm,
research, which I love and I was not getting time to do. And it will also give me time to participate in politics, which I am right doing now. And it will give me time to run my businesses, which I never had. So that was my priority. And as
mm,
such, when I knew that priority was set right, so for somebody, he might be the first PhD in their family, he might be the first graduate
mm,
in their
mm,
family, he might just be there to keep the family culture. I know of a guy today, is a techie. The father, the grandfather is a professor, the father is a professor. Now they want him to keep the family tradition. He's here. You understand? So the priority is simple. You will have to tell yourself one. When you see that one, my brother, if it is to drop out, drop out. But I will tell you something. If you can do it in spite of, it will be better. Do you understand? I'll give you an instance. I had a student. Sorry, this is a bit personal, but we are all students. I know you can learn from this story. She started making things and started making money. And the order kept coming that she could not manage her schooling with it. She opted to drop out. I came back from Malaysia. I reviewed the list of the students. I didn't find her name. Then they told me that she was going to drop out. I said, no, 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 no way. Let me speak to her. Then I called her. What was the problem? The problem is she's doing something now. She believes this is what she would rather spend her time on. And she would rather take another degree than to continue biomedical engineering. But I told her, do you know how good this will be if at any day they are introducing your product, and they say this product is built by a biomedical engineer? You understand me? How would you feel? She said she would really love that. Okay, if you love that, what can we do? What we do is this. The school system is 7 years. We're all
mm,
just clamping ourselves into the 5. So we began to stretch. She started taking the courses. She started that semester. I talked to her with 2 courses. Do you know? She aced them. You understand? The second semester with 4. And she passed. So now she's prepared to finish the program in 7 years as against
wow.
the 5. A 7 years designed by her. And her business is still doing fine out there. So you can be everything you want to be. You don't have to sacrifice one for one. I won't lie to you. If I read my CV to you, actually, I was a radio presenter while I was making magazine, while I was designing website, while I was also working in a bank. I was an MC, public speaker, address. I can be everything I want to be. What is stopping me? The only thing stopping me is how I manage my time. If I wanted to be stopped today, I wouldn't appear in this program.
Mm,
But I believe I can attend this program. I can go to my NSC, and I've been in my office attending to student registration since morning. It doesn't stop anything. So I
mm,
believe you can be everything you want to be. Just manage your time. You probably, just try as much as possible. Have your time audit. This sticker should be your friend. Every
mm,
morning, if you really want to succeed, you must have it. My bag is a bit far from me. I would have shown you where I'll write it every day and I mark it every day. You understand? And it doesn't fail. As long as you can have time, account for what I call the time stealers in your life, you will go places. Oftentimes, we don't know it. You understand? It's
mm,
because you are not guiding your life with some timetable. You understand? Like the Muslim guys are alive with 5 times daily prayer. You understand? To one who has never practiced it, it will look like this is a burden. But to those practicing it, what happens? It just become normal. For one who has never audited his time, has never written it down, how will I write? Every day, I will eat, I will call, I will visit, I will do this, I will do that. When you do that, in 2 weeks, you become addicted because you see where your time is going. And if you don't do a particular thing you set out to do, there is another time you must compensate for it. So thank you guys. I hope I did answer that question.
You did, sir. You really, in fact, that was amazing. I saw someone said in chat box that was amazing. An amazing, amazing response. I love how you called them time stealers. I wrote it down here. The time stealers in my life. I'm going to go and identify all of them. I'm going to remove them from my life immediately. But I really enjoyed that response, sir. Thank you very, very, very much. That was amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, quickly, the link for the game has been sent to the chat box. I believe we can begin to click on that link. You will see the www.menti.com. Just scroll up in the chat and you'll see it. That was really an amazing session, sir. Really, really great. Okay, it has been sent again. So you can just check the chat box and you see it there. Okay. So the question today is, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? Someone said great. Okay. Someone said good. Someone said just there. Someone said fine. Okay, that's changed again. So just there. No more people are saying just there. More people are saying great. That's amazing. You cannot attend this session and not feel great. Please, why are you not feeling great? You cannot attend this. You cannot have heard the last few minutes, what was said in the last few minutes, and not feel great. Because me, I feel great. I feel amazing. You know. Okay, I see inspired. Someone said entertained with plenty eyes. Okay, someone said refreshing. Someone said motivated. Nice. Someone said tired. Why? And someone said free. Someone said motivated. Okay. Let me be sure I'm seeing this correctly. I'm seeing bored. How can you be bored? No, no, no. Maybe you just joined. I believe you just joined a second ago. You cannot be bored. For what? You cannot be bored. uh let's keep them coming. Let's keep them. If you have not clicked, you can just click on the link. You see the link in the chat box. It's okay. It has changed. Let me see. Fantastic, amazing, fantastic, fantastic. Yes, I'm feeling that's how I'm feeling in one word. I think I feel fantastic. Someone said wonderful. Okay. Hopeful. I love that. That's really nice. That's really nice. Hopeful. Okay. Is there feeling perhaps okay, motivated. I said awesome. Okay, awesome is okay. Awesome. All right. All right. That's great. Say you're feeling hungry. Sorry. Sorry. You soon eat. Sorry. It went small. All right. Eh, cool. I'm seeing cool. All right. We'll do this for 2 more minutes. So if you've not clicked on the link to drop how you're feeling today, please do so. The link is in the chat box. You can click on that. Okay, I'm seeing and now I'm seeing emojis. So I'm seeing fire emoji. Okay. Nice. That's very nice. Is that I feel like one more. Wow. He said I feel wowed. And that's how I'm feeling too. He said I'm feeling gang-gangish. I really want to understand the meaning, but yes. I feel encouraged, amazing. I also do. I won't lie, I also do. It's really encouraging. So hungry again. Hey, don't worry, soon, soon, soon. All right. So 2 more minutes and we are done. Okay. A good chef. That's nice. All right. Okay, I'm not seeing anything new here. In case you maybe you just joined, please just check the chat box. You will see the link in the chat box. Link to just join. Question is, how are you feeling today? How are you feel? Okay, amazing. All right. I've seen amazing. Okay. Oh, I don't think it has changed. All right. These are all great feelings, honestly. And I believe that it's only right we have this feeling after hearing what Dr. Suleiman has said in the past few minutes. I mean, just 30 minutes have changed my perspective on a lot of things. I mentioned that major thing I got really is time stealers, knowing that there are things that really steal my time, you know. Being accountable for your own self, that's very important. All right, let me check if there's any other. Sorry. Uh, okay, someone said amazingly good. That's a new one, but thank you. That's amazing. That's really nice. Someone said just there. Why? Why you just there? I cannot be. Maybe you just joined. You just joined like 1 minute ago. That's why. Just stick around. For those of you who are feeling tired, just there, not so great, stick around. There's still going to be another session coming up after this game, and during that session, you will, yeah, definitely, you're going to be getting some more information that will make you feel better. So if maybe your day started off not so great, mm, don't worry, just wait. All right. Uh,
But
Let me see. All right. So they're done with this session. Um, I'm not seeing anything new here. But thank you so much for everybody who responded. It was lovely seeing great, good, amazing, amazingly good too was there. I just loved seeing all those things, and it's just a testament that truly, truly the event is going well one, and that session was really an inspiring one. Once again, I'm really grateful to Dr. Suleiman and the team actually is really grateful to Dr. Suleiman for really taking out your time to take us down that session. Honestly, I gained so much, so much. Quickly, I'm going to be welcoming our second speaker for today. I did an introduction already in the beginning, but I realized that a number of people have joined the call after that. So I'm just going to be giving a recap of his profile. Um, just please just spare me a few minutes. Let me get his. All right. So our second speaker for today is Abdulhakeem Adams. He's a senior front-end engineering consultant at Atlan. I like his nickname is Geeky Adams, so you might know him as Geeky Adams. In fact, before I knew his actual name, this was this was what I knew him as initially. Adakin Adams is a software engineer with about 6 years of professional experience in building interesting applications across several domains. And he has had the privilege and opportunity of leading teams, mentoring junior developers, and building tech communities as well. This happens to be I believe is my third time, if I remember correctly. This happens to be my third time hearing Abdulhakeem Adams speak. And all the times I've heard him speak, I've always gotten something substantial. Last time I heard him speak was at the Atlassian event that happened in Ilorin here. And, talking about his journey and how he kept challenging himself. That was something I really took from what he said, that he said he kept challenging himself, taking up projects that people would think that no, she wants to kill herself, but he knew what he was chasing, right? He knew the goal, and he kept taking up those projects. He used the term. He said he kept giving himself problems, but in doing that, he himself learned how to solve problems, and that really has contributed to where he is today. Quickly, I want to confirm if he is on the call with me. Abdulhakeem Adams, are you on the call?
yes, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. The floor is all yours. Please let's welcome him in the chat box. Fire emoji, any emoji. Please let's welcome him. It's really an honor having you here. Thank you so much.
Can I start?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. I still haven't fully recovered my voice from the World Cup arguments, but then uh, yeah, like I've been introduced earlier, I'm Abdulhakeem Adams. I'm a software engineer, and I recently just stopped being a student as well. Um, so I've worked as a software engineer while also, running my studies, right? And I've been able to work in work for companies in like 4 different continents so far. Last year, I was awarded exceptional software engineer in Nigeria by Tech Trend Africa, and recently, I also just graduated as with first class honors computer engineering from Unilorin, and that's to show that I've managed to be successful at both keeping, managing my work, and also attending to school activities as well. So today, majorly, my boss has said most of the important things you need to know about education and tech, and how they could flow together. However, I will be coming from the angle of sharing my own experiences with how I've been able to um, do work exceptionally well, and also do school exceptionally well at the same time, and be able to come out successful at both, and how you can apply some of these lessons to your own life and activities as well, and be able to come out successful in whatever it is you are focused on, right? So just a little bit background on how I started tech. While in secondary school, I actually got introduced to tech, robotics mainly, by a company. Yeah. So, but I didn't take it seriously then, right? So when I entered school, I started joining some communities in school, because I'm the kind of guy that likes doing stuff, right? I like to be engaged in meaningful things, right? So I was able to, just attend some of those, community. I think it was, I don't know if it is, if it was a Microsoft event at first, or a Google event, but I'm sure it's one of those two, right? So then I got to meet, different people, got interested in, the fact that I can see people, building stuff, or trying to build stuff, and how I can also build those stuff myself. And basically, I went into tech to actually, be a cool guy. Like, when someone says, this guy can build a mobile app, it's kind of cool. So I wanted to be a cool kid as well. And I think that's one of the main push for me to start you know tech, right? So yeah, I started writing code, or learning about code and all of those things, mainly in my 200 level. I started in 100 level, but it was basic stuff, right? But I started seriously in 200 level, and within about a year of starting out seriously, or less, I started, getting gigs, working on projects, and transitioned into working, with different companies full time, and to see I've been able to what I've been able to achieve, and where I am currently. I think it's kind of like an impressive feat, right? So the questions I get mostly from people, especially students, are like, how am I able to manage this, doing all of these things, while also doing well in school, right? And what I like to tell them, or to start with, is by telling them, like, there is no I can't give you a template that works for all, right? So there's no one template fits all, right? So if I tell you, for example, that because I do this kind of things, you need to do those same things as well. Exactly. It might end up not just working for some people that are like me, and might end up even creating more problems for some other people, right? So what I like to do is just share my own story, or share the things I think helped me, and then try to apply those things. And if they work for you, fine. Or see how you can tweak those things to make them work for you. um First off, I think I've always topped my class, even from my as far as I can remember, from my nursery or primary school. I've always stopped my class, up to secondary school. I've always been like the head prefect, I think that was it's called, and all of this, right? So I think I have um an advantage, right? And that would be a bias, right? So I have an advantage in terms of the fact that people usually say I'm brilliant or I'm smart, even though I'm not very sure myself. However, so if I give you a template to use, it might not work for someone that is a little bit less, as much as brilliant as I am, or as smart as people say I am. So, however, there are some, like, general principles that I think you know I've applied as well. I learned from other sources, and I've applied as well. That really helps me. And my Oga has even mentioned, my Oga engineer Dr. Suleiman has mentioned some of those things, and the top of them all is actually setting your priorities, right? So the top point is actually setting your priorities. Now, if I've had someone ask me like, should they drop out? Should they just continue with school, or just leave tech and focus on school, or leave school to focus on tech, or and all of these things, right? And what I usually tell them is, look, our stories are different, right? I've had many opportunities, or many times I've considered, dropping out of school. But for the fact that I think my dad's goal was to see me graduate out of university, right? And not just graduate top class, right? So I have something to achieve. So in that sense, I personally would have a bias to tell you that don't drop out of school, because for my own personal story, I needed to, go out of school. I needed to complete school, even though that might not be what I want personally, but it's part of the things I have to achieve, because of how Nigerian parents are, right? So aside that, I've even had opportunities whereby I can, like, opportunities that would have allowed me relocated out of Nigeria, but would mean that I'll be dropping out of school or leaving school behind and just starting a new life all over again, which I declined, for the fact that personally I believe, having your certificates. In fact, there are some levels in tech whereby having certificates or having, worked in, worked in research, right? Having studied and worked in research will help you achieve. For example, let's say if you look at engineering director roles in Google, for example, right? So those are usually headed by people who have PhD. For example, let's say PhD in machine learning, right? Or PhD in data science, or PhD in, network technologies, right? So personally, I felt like, okay, I don't just want to be like an average developer that, works and ends, good, right? So I want to reach a level in my life whereby I'll be heading, departments in some of the biggest, tech companies in the world. And I know to achieve that, it would, having a certificate that justifies the fact that I can cope with studies, right, would actually, be of advantage. And like my guy mentioned, right, so you attending school is not just about, it's just about passing exams and all of these things, right? So if for anything, if for anything, so I think one of the main advantage of attending or going to school is the fact that it proves to your potential employer that, okay, this person can, show up to somewhere every day, right? Show up to somewhere every day, learn something, even though they don't want to, right? Learn something and be able to graduate out of those things. So it gives them the confidence of you being able to undo their business matters, even if you don't enjoy doing it, right? So another thing school helps with, and I don't think I would have gotten into tech, or be where I am currently in tech if I didn't come to Unilorin, because I was able to network and meet some people that inspired me to take up, tech. So that's one of those things that you wouldn't gain anywhere else than in school. Networking, meeting people that share similar, vision, or even getting inspired by some other people's vision and, applying it to your own mission as well, right? So those are the two important reasons why I feel like school is very important. And even if you are going into tech, school is still very much important. And let me tell you, having how am I going to put it, having gold and silver, for example, is better than just having only gold, right? So because obviously there will be a day you need the silver, and you'll be able to, apply it to whatever use case you have. So having a certificate and still doing tech or doing well in tech would always be better than, just probably doing successful in tech or just doing well in school, right? Even though personally I would still prefer you, channel more energy towards these skills aside what you are just being taught in school. Because truth be told, most of us just read to just pass exam. I mean, most graduates don't even remember, 40% or 30% of whatever they have been taught for the whole year while graduating, right? So what's the point, right? So now, how have I been able to achieve this feat? first, just like I mentioned, the most important thing is prioritizing, right? So there are some times where I wouldn't attend lectures, or I'll miss lectures to be able to attend um, a work meeting, for example, or to be able to attend some courses that I'm doing, or to be able to finish some courses that I'm doing, right? So the priorities do shift at times. So you can't just say, let's say tech is your priority now, then anything that comes up in tech, you then prioritize is over whatever you are doing in school, right? So it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you choose your priorities based on what is happening at that moment, right? So I've had, for example, a time whereby my company was supposed to fly me to a meeting, right? Outside where I was, right? And I had a test the next day, right? So I have to like um, fight my company in order to cancel out my own, bookings and appointments in order to be able to attend tests. Even though I know I could, talk to my lecturer in order to probably reschedule that test, but I didn't want to be like the advantage kid and all of those things, right? So sometimes you have to prioritize things that are happening in what you are learning or in your career, like tech, and give priorities to school. Sometimes you have to give priorities to your tech and just let school slide. Another thing is actually taking advantage of opportunities that come your way, right? So um doing my course of study, right? We've had COVID, right? We've had COVID break, and recently we've had a long ASU break as well. So while other people were, other students were being, sad and aggressive that all of those things were happening, I was seeing them as a blessing, right? So, and I was taking advantage of those things, right? So you either make excuse of happenings, or you take advantage of those happenings, right? So you either make excuse and complain about things that are happening in your life, or you take advantage of those things. So during COVID, I worked so hard during COVID because I remember at the early stage of the COVID break, I knew I wanted to join a particular company that does a particular thing at a particular level, right? So I knew there are things I needed to learn in order to be able to achieve that goal, right? So I worked so hard to learn those things, and I think 2 months into the COVID break, I was able to join that company and assume a lead slash senior front-end engineering role in that company. And while doing what's it called, the recent long ASU break as well, I also joined a very reputable company in the US as well. I worked my ass off to join that company as well. So just basically telling you that instead of seeing those, let's say you have ASU break, and let's say you have all of those breaks, or anything that happens that you might see as challenge, or where most students see as challenge, you can just channel that energy and see that as an opportunity for you to either learn something or work towards achieving some career goals that you might have. Now you need to set clear goals, right? Okay, you want to take on studies, and you want to take on you want to factor in into the studies your career trajectory as well. You have to set clear goals. Okay, this is what I want to achieve with my tech career. This is also what I want to achieve with my what's it called, with my school. Now those goals have to be like very realistic, right? For me, I knew I was smart in, like, I can basically read before exam. I can basically read before the exam day, and still pass my exams very fine, right? Without attending the classes. So I know myself, and that is what you have to know yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you're not that good academically, then you should set a realistic goal of, okay, if it is 2-2, I want to graduate to it. If it is 2-1, I want to graduate to it. These results nowadays don't even determine how your life goes. It is the skills that you have that determine how your life goes and how successful you are in life, right? So set realistic goals. For me, I still had the goal to come out with a first class, because of my parents, mostly, right? So I set that goal for my what's it called, for my tech career. I set the goal that, okay, I want to have worked with so amount of international, companies at a senior level, right? By the time I'll be done with school, right? So now, after setting those goals, communicate, or you know network with people that can help you achieve those goals, right? Look around you in school. There are a lot of tech communities. There are a lot of academic communities as well, student communities as well. There are people in there that have gone through, like your seniors, that have gone through the level you are just going that you are just going to, right? Those mistakes that they have made, you can learn from them. So instead of you passing through those stages and doing the same mistakes as well, you can better learn from them and just skip the mistake part, and then it will be more efficient, right? So connect with people, meet with people of people of similar interest, right? Then from there you can see how you can it will help you grow faster, right? For me as an example, um during my tech career, I didn't really have a mentor, right? In fact, I picked interest in tech just based off, attending a tech event and getting inspired. I didn't have a mentor. I had to, try different things to know what I really want to focus on, right? And so I didn't really have a mentor. So even though many people will say like my career growth was fast, right? Um, I personally still think I would have gone even further if I had someone to put me through all the stages I've gone through. Right? For example, I did Python, I did machine learning, I've once done product design, I've name it. I've done a lot of things. I've done mobile app development before finally settling with front end development professionally. Even though I still do like full stack, right? So if I had a mentor that put me through all those stages, and I would have skipped the part where I was doing Python, all of these things, and because of that, my growth trajectory in my chosen niche would have been, even better than where it is, right now. So meet with people, connect with mentors, people that can help you, fast track your career and all of these things. Now, also don't be afraid to ask for help, right? So I know many of us kind of like, you know, don't like asking for help because we think maybe if you ask for help, then people might see you less or use it against you in the future. But um, you should be more concerned about what you will gain from asking for help rather than what might be the disadvantage, right? So now, um, how do you ask for help? For example, in school, I had to attend to work activities. I also had to attend to school activities. So there are some of my classmates whereby I've asked for their help. Like they keep me in loop with especially during my last year's 400 level and 500 level. I didn't really have enough time for school at all. In fact, I wasn't attending most of the classes, right? So, but then I was kept in check of everything happening in school, right? So when there'll be exams, I know the last topic that was treated, that some of those people who attend class don't even know, right? So ask for help, get people to keep you in check of your activities, and also be very organized. I can't stress this enough. Now, part of not giving you a direct template to follow is that I personally am not someone that follows. I'm not someone that enjoys following schedules of, okay, when you wake up in the morning, you do this, do that at so time. I, I don't really do that. However, you see that sticky notes my boss showed you guys the other time. It is very important. So what I do is I take a sticky note, write what I want to do for that day. Though I don't put like I have to do this thing like in the afternoon, or I have to do it what's it called? I have to do it in the morning, or I have to do it for 1 hour, or I have to do it at so time. No, I just write what I want to achieve in a day, right? Based on whatever it is happening on, whether in my work or in my school on that day. Then I can now decide to do it at any time I like, right? So that makes it easier for you to, work at your convenience and even enjoy what you are doing. And as well, it also, keeps you in check to make sure you are setting, realistic daily goals. Now, I would enjoy you to, make daily goals rather than like week long or month long goals. Because when you make a week long goal now, for example, um, you on Monday you might be thinking, okay, you still have time, you still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Then by the time you know it, it's Friday already and you haven't done anything. But when you set daily goals, you are able to achieve that goal for that day, and you'll be able to go even faster and even manage your time better. Now, another thing which had also been mentioned before is being able to cut out distractions, right? So even though I wouldn't call them distractions, right? So because some of those things are like things you
Sorry,
use to rewind and oh, what you say?
y- there are 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. So some of those things are things you use to rewind and after the whole work and school stress, right? But for example, playing football, for example, let me tell you something. 24 hours is usually more than enough, right? So even as much as we would like to say like 24 hours is not enough for you to do everything, right? 24 hours is more than enough, right? So look at those unnecessary things that you do in a day, right? So, for example, there was a time. Now, it all depends on your priority at a particular point in time, right? So, you have to know your priority and you have to set realistic daily goals, right? So, for example, there was a time I had to cut out cooking or doing anything. Like I was strictly, getting my food, ordering my food, because I know the amount of time I can save from, doing any kitchen work or doing any house chores. So I'll source those. Now, not everybody might have the, potential to do that or the resource to make that happen. But there are some many other things in your life that you do that are really unnecessary. For example, as a guy, you need to be watching ball, right? You need to be watching APLs and all of those things. I had to cut it out, right? As much as I would enjoy doing those things, I had to cut it out because you can save time from every little places, right? 24 hours is more than enough. Now, there's some people that sleep more than, no, sleep is good, right? But I think 5 hours is enough. I don't know what they're doing with 8 hours, 10 hours, right? So just find ways to cut out times and unnecessary activities that you do, and just focus on the goal. Because at the end of the day, when you achieve those goals, now have the whole time in the world to do whatever it is you want to do. As use myself as an example, I work from home, right? So I mean, I can choose to. My work is mostly 4 hours in a day, right? So I can choose to watch as much ball as I want. I can choose to watch as much movies as I want, even though I still don't, because I know I'm still going, somewhere, even bigger than where I am currently, and I have things to do in order to be able to achieve those things, right? So just postpone your enjoyments, right? So when you postpone your enjoyments and put in the work today, there's no way you're not going to achieve those goals. If you if you look at those people who have achieved, or just find those people who have achieved the kind of goals you are trying to achieve in that industry you are trying to achieve that goal in, right? What you'll find out is almost all of them follow the same thing, or almost all of them do the same thing or follow the same pattern of life, right? So just pick those patterns of life, apply it to your own self, and there is no way you're not going to achieve that same thing. Because I don't know who said it, but I usually pick this what's it called, quotes like success has a proven trajectory. So people don't just get successful by luck or whatever. If you do what it needs to be successful, there's no way you're not going to be successful. So I think with that I can wrap up and just answer any questions you guys have. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that amazing session. It was really great hearing your own personal experience balancing tech and school as a student. And congratulations. I learned that you came out the first class. Congratulations
Thank you very much.
on, coming up with that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's really encouraging and motivating to those of us who are still, battling with Unilorin and the legs. Thank you so much for that. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat box. If not, please engage the chat box. If you learned something, you can drop it. I learned a whole lot. I learned a whole lot. And one thing that really, stuck with me was priority and setting your priorities right. Knowing when this is necessary and knowing when this is necessary. I like the fact that at some point you knew You cannot be devoting as much time to cooking and the likes. You had to use that time to do something else. And it's all about setting priorities, right? And proper time management. Honestly, but seeing that it's doable, somebody has done it, and that same person is speaking to us today is really, really encouraging. Okay, someone says success has a specific trajectory, so that's what the person got.